This is the worst there will be. They're only going to get better from here.
So I'm afraid
And
now.
Like, really afraid now. What am I going to do? I better watch this episode to find out.
Welcome to another episode of Semi Sages of the Pages. We hope you are not just surviving, we hope you are thriving. So I'm Morgan.
this is Molly.
And I'm Teresa.
And we're the Semi Sages of the Pages. And if you're like us, you know that sometimes in writing mode, you're just surviving and we want to help you thrive. So today we're going to talk to you all about the spams that are filling our author inboxes.
Oh, I'm excited
I
to hear
love
more.
that.
Okay, let's start. If you're like us, you might be getting a ridiculous amount of spam mail lately. Ladies, have you been noticing that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Especially what is seeming to be professional spam emails.
Yeah, we've noticed on our Semi Sages account, we've noticed in our personal emails, and we've noticed specifically with authors, like the more out there we are with our author profile, the more specific writers type spam we're getting. And it's really difficult. Sometimes it's getting harder to tell what's professional and what's not professional. And I also think it's getting harder to know even what to open or what to sift through. So I am the novice, the learner, the beginner with tech. And so I asked these beautiful ladies to school us on exactly what we need to know, how to make sure we don't get taken advantage of as writers.
And I do want to preface this by saying it's really important to recognize that this is the worst that AI will be. AI in these scam emails, this is the worst there will be. They're only going to get better from here. What they look like is only going to get more and more believable. Just like we're seeing with AI images and AI video, it's only going to get more believable from here.
So I'm afraid
And
now because we're gonna have
I didn't mean to make you afraid.
and it's gonna be higher quality, right? So I'm like,
It is. It is. But the other thing to also consider is that I want to tell people, like, if you end up, like, clicking on an email or responding to one of these people or something like that, you shouldn't feel bad. Like, we'll show you some of these, you know, and some of them are kind of laughable bad, but some of them can be really convincing. And you shouldn't feel bad if you are excited about an opportunity as a writer.
so what are some like general guidelines before we jump into dissecting what and what not to open, and then once we've opened it, how to engage with it?
Well, you're going to want to, best way is going to be examples. So we're going to show you some examples, but you want to kind of keep your questioning hat on. And if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And a good rule of thumb is if they're asking for money, it's probably not legit, especially if they're reaching out to you.
So if they're reaching out to me asking for money, it's probably not legit. There's a thing called the Better Business Bureau. You can also go to Reddit and see if there's complaints. Where else do you go to kind of check the businesses? I always go Better Business Bureau, Reddit. Where else do we go?
Writers beware. And in fact,
Writers beware.
we're going to talk about, And in fact, we're going to talk about one of the big scams that Writers Beware just did an article about, because I have several examples and they are good. They are so good that I actually did research because I was like, ooh, this sounds a little spammy, but what if?
That's one of the thing it preys on. It preys on your hope, and they flatter you. That's a big aspect of it.
Yeah. All right, we're ready to begin with some examples?
Yeah. And we're going to put the Writers Beware article, we'll link it down in the description as well.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so this is one of the ones that came to our Semi Sages accounts. And who's it from?
So if anyone's not aware, it says it's from Rebecca Yarros. Rebecca Yarros is a very famous author.
She's the author of the very popular series Fourth Wing. And so to me, as much as I would love to get an email from Rebecca Yarros, this is a red flag that this is probably a spam email. Is that it says, "Hi," not a name. I came across your book, not a specific book, and admire the dedication it takes to bring a project like that to life. It's always inspiring to see fellow authors turning their ideas into something tangible. Blah, blah, blah. I love connecting with others to learn more about their creative journey. Would it be okay if I asked you a couple quick questions? So they're not asking for money yet.
Mm. Yeah.
But this is, and there's no name on, other than Rebecca Yaros. It's not, there's no signature either.
No. So one thing that these AI scams do well, right, is that it seems to come from a real Gmail account. Like if you look at the Gmail address on here, it looks believable. It's not from some sort of like what we would consider spam email account or like a hidden. It looks like a real person's Gmail account. So that can trip you up. But Teresa's exactly right. It's not signed by anyone, and the email content is incredibly generic. Um, if you know anything about the semi-sages, we don't have a book together. The semi-sages don't have a book. It's really easy for us to be like, "Well, this is spam," because what do you mean you've read our book? We This isn't Teresa's author email address. It's not Morgan's author email address. This is the semi we have a YouTube channel, we do podcasts, we do like writing. There's no book. What are you on about? And even if Teresa said it exactly, even if we did have doesn't even mention what the name of the book is.
Yeah.
What do they like about the book? What
They like that it took work for us to do it.
Right.
Yeah. And and so Teresa, like an email like this, you mentioned they're not asking for money. But
Not yet.
what do you think comes next?
I'd love to interview you. And, that's just going to be a low, low fee of $39. It probably won't be much. It'll probably be just an amount to where you're okay losing it and you're okay with the hope of getting an interview. You guys want to see a really good one?
Show us a really good one.
No, but
Okay.
I need to.
Stop sharing for a sec, and then I'm
Molly,
gonna
you crack me up
find.
because you go, they don't ask you money.
Well, I think it's also, if we didn't say already, it's worth pointing out we're seeing a huge increase in these. Spam emails have always existed, but we're seeing this like massive just quantity over like some of them are more quality than others, but this massive quantity just being just thrown at us these days. And let us know if you're an author or in the author space and you're seeing this too.
Okay, so you'll notice the subject line, sharing lying, baking, and surfing with readers who will love it. So that's one of my books, Lying, Baking, and Surfing. Dear Teresa, my name, and it's spelled correctly. A lot of times people forget the H. Publishing a book is an achievement that deserves recognition, and I want to commend you for bringing lying, baking, and surfing into the world. Oh, they're patting me on the back. Writing takes discipline, creativity, and the willingness to give a piece of yourself to readers, and you've done that with heart. What makes your work stand out is not just the story itself, but the warmth and relatability it carries, the kind of qualities that linger with readers long after the page. At this point, I'm like, oh, I know this isn't real, but I'm getting the warm fuzzies.
It 100% flattery, and flattery is a tactic.
Yeah. And here it gets better here. When I came across Lying, Baking, and Surfing, it immediately felt more than just another rom-com release. All right, it got the genre right. It is a rom-com. The playful premise of two people reinventing themselves, Sabrina got the name correctly, escaping the pressures of her executive life through a failing bakery, and Jonathan, again, the name correct, seeking peace in San Diego's surf culture, strikes a balance of charm, humor, and vulnerability. Paired with your engaging writing style, oh God, thank you. It's the type of story that leaves people smiling while also reflecting on the masks we sometimes wear in pursuit of happiness. That's also honing in on one of the things in my bio, which is I just want to bring, oh my gosh, this book is so good, joy to readers. So they are combining me, my bio, with a book. This is well done. And this is all AI. They just pop this stuff into AI and AI spit it out, but this is well done. So now comes a sales pitch. I coordinate a private company of over 8,000 passionate readers who actively seek out meaningful, character-driven stories. These are individuals who don't just read casually, but engage deeply, sharing thoughtful impressions and recommending books that resonate with them. Within this space, and you can see the rest of it. And then it says at the bottom, if this resonates with you, I'd be glad to share more about how we work and explore the best way to bring lying, baking, and surfing into the hands of readers who are ready for a fresh, heartfelt rom-com. So why do I think that this is AI? Or this is spam? Go for it, Molly.
Well, one red flag to me was if you read the writer's beware article, some of this is almost copy and paste from that.
Mm-hmm.
Um it it is exactly that, and I know like I'm aware of it's a scam, so I know to look for it. And if you're not aware that this is a scam and that this is going to, push you off to a Nigerian Fiverr account to pay them, you might not know. It's really well done.
Yeah. And it hasn't asked for money yet. It's just saying, I'd love to share more about how we can work together.
Yeah. So the hook, it feels innocent enough to answer it. So, Molly, you alluded to the Writer Beware article, but I haven't read it. Could you summarize it
Yeah.
for a reader, maybe, or for the listeners?
Sure. Do you want me to summarize, or Teresa, do you want to summarize it? Because you found
Oh
this
no, you
article.
you go ahead and summarize it.
So authors get emails exactly like this. And when they respond,
Are you saying
uh,
it's exactly like publishing a book is an achievement? Like that's
yes,
literally what it says. I
yes,
noticed both of the scams said that. They didn't say,
yeah,
which I'm like, I feel like real writers would be like, it's a pain in the ass. It's hard. It's like relief. I don't know.
Great job getting through it.
yeah,
Like you survived. I don't know. Or you think you're done now and you're just getting started. Wait till the marketing. I don't know. Something more.
yeah. And I think even so, I remember from the Writers Beware article, and again, we'll put it down below so you can see it. It's got a lot of details. You, People have been getting emails like almost exactly verbatim like this, but then like information about their book is customized to their book. And if you go and respond back to them, they will then do this kind of aggressive sales pitch where it's feeding on, they'll be like, "Oh, well, I noticed you only had this many reviews on Amazon, and I can get you up on the number of reviews, but I have these 8,000 readers, sorry, I have these 8,000 readers, and they're all going to review your book and they're all going to put 5-star reviews, but you need to pay them $30 to $50 per person."
For 8,000.
And but you know what? If you wanna start small, that's fine. You can start small with a group of 50. And, like, paying for reviews is a thing that has happened at
It
different
is.
places. Like, so you almost feel like it might be true, and they'll keep coming back with like, "Well, the choice is yours. Don't you want the world to know about your book? Don't you want it to be out there? This is such a cheap thing and you can do it." And it makes it feel like flattery, but also, pressuring, and also a bit of a ticking clock. All of these are tactics in a scam, right? And then eventually, if you contact them enough and you say, "Yeah, I want to move forward with it," at least the version of the scam that Writers Beware found, which seems to be this version, you're eventually like directed to pay a Nigerian Fiverr account.
Yeah.
And and honestly, if you get that far, you maybe haven't done that much harm to yourself. Like all you've done is waste your time. When you're responding to some of these emails, you're not clicking on links, you're not giving away your personal data. You're not All of that is not happening, which is good. You're wasting your own time, which is unfortunate. The real problem is if you actually pay them.
Hmm. Yeah. And they are aggressive too. In fact, I literally just got an email And here, I'll share. All right, so this one's clever. So this one, first of all, starts off, oh, and you get like, this is another key. Hang on, let me see if I can highlight her. This is the other key, is that very professional AI looking photo. That's another sign of a scam.
Mm.
So this is another one. What drew me into River City Widows was how you grounded the haunting, blah, blah, blah. Again, this is very AI. Even award-winning authors know books that haunt your hearts are books that endure. That's a very AI sentence. River City Widows has the rare power to do both. If this vision intrigues you, simply reply with interested. I'll share the next steps. And then I got another one 9 days ago. Happy Monday. Hope your weekend went smoothly. I just want to kindly follow up on my previous message. Looking forward to hearing from you. And 7 minutes ago, another one from this person. And almost same words. I want to gently follow up. Your story has lingered in my mind because it's the kind of book that sparks deep conversations and leaves readers reflecting long after they turn the last page. I can already picture it with book clubs, with readers connecting to Tasia's journey. Again, we got the name, sharing their insights, creating an authentic buzz that goes beyond fleeting attention. If this was real, that sounds so incredible. It really does. Like, I would love this. I would. If you're legit and you want to do this, please let me know.
Another thing here is like really what the flattery masks the details, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on all of these emails, there's a lot of flattery, but there's not like even the last one's like, well, I have an 8,000 group of readers who are going to do this. Do you? What are they called? What's the name?
Yeah.
Right? Where's your website? Not that I should say you should click on website links, right? But like if these people are real, then they have some sort of like bona fides or credentials or
Business.
history or business or something that you can look up and cross-reference. Otherwise, even if it's not AI, right? Even if it might be a real person. And eventually there's always real person. There's nothing to say that this isn't a 13-year-old boy just like hanging out. Like there's no reason to believe that they can actually do the things they're promising for you.
Well,
Ah,
I think legally it's interesting that there's no signature. There's no
right.
credential at the bottom of any of them, because that's the piece that would be legally binding, right? That's how you could actually get somebody in trouble.
Do you guys want to see the best scam of them all, which
Okay, now
answers
yeah.
the questions that you guys have? You guys set that up
Yes.
perfectly for the
Yes.
next round of emails. Let me find it. Now this one was so good, I actually had to look. I actually looked it up because I was like, it feels spammy, but you
You're
never
like,
know.
but I'm hoping.
But I'm hoping. Yeah, exactly.
Because
But
they
I'm
got
hoping.
because it has
Okay.
a signature and it has an
Oh,
organization, book clubs and happy hours, and it has a Gmail. Okay.
yeah, this is like believable.
This one's believable. This one's believable, which is why I had to look it up. Now, again, it is unusual for a book club to reach out to an author. And kind of what made me go, is that I love Queens of Wonderland. It is a wonderful anthology, but it is an anthology, and that is unusual for book clubs to choose. Very, very unusual. Um, and there's something quietly radiant about the way Queens of Wonderland reimagines Carol's classic world through the lens of love, identity, and self-discovery. Ooh, we're pulling straight from the back blurb.
Yeah, we are.
So that's
Yep.
another sign.
And it doesn't
Turning
show
of
that it gets the diversity of the anthology either.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Not all of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Flattery, not specificity here.
Mm-hmm. But now we have the name of the book club. At DC Fun and Stimulating Book and Happy Hours, we love books that expand the conversation, blah, blah, blah. Our club brings together the curious, open-hearted readers each month to explore works that blend imagination with meaning. Recent discussions have featured titles like The House in the Cerulean Sea. That would play because that is an LGBTQIA book, and Orlando by Virginia Woolf. and Queens in Wonderland would fit beautifully alongside them. And it wouldn't, because again, it's an anthology. This is not a book. I mean, it is a book, but it's not a novel. And you'll never believe it. This is a real book club. DC Fun and Stimulating Book and Happy Hours is a real book club. Robbie, this organizer, is the organizer of it. I don't know if the phone number is legit, but this meetup is a legit meetup. But you can see where they're getting you is the DC Fun and Stimulating Book Club and happ@gmail.com. So the real one has a different Gmail account. And so when I went and looked it up, I was like, oh, this isn't real. And I actually messaged this person to let them know that their book club is being used for spam.
That's so good that you did that, because that would just be horrible. Like, people could be out there doing that with the sages.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it even is so much that I got another one.
That's insane. That one's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
What are your kind of takeaways from this? Mine is that, like, AI is getting better and we have to double, triple check everything. It's also, don't jump at every opportunity and don't let your ego guide you, because they're using flattery. So if you're giving into the flattery, that isn't that really where it, like, where
Yeah.
they get us?
And flattery and hope. Like, we all write
hope.
books and we want our books to go out there and find readers and find love and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, we
And
do.
there's so many books out there that it's hard to break through the noise sometimes. So to have
Yeah.
this what seems like an opportunity to not only be flattered, but get more recognition from your book and connect with readers, that's hard. Like, mentally, you want that. You want that so bad.
These have actually made me tear up sometimes because they're so full of flattery and they're actually like what I intended the book to be and the reaction I wanted my readers to have. I mean, AI is brilliant. And to like get these emails of like, this book changed my life, and and here's why, and to have it actually like ring true, but to know that's not real, that's not a real person telling me that, actually like hurts. It does. I would much rather have fan mail. Hint, hint.
I think it plays so much on the brain science, because we know cognitively that our prefrontal cortex and our frontal cortex are designed to use logic, but we use that logic. We make our decisions on emotion, then we use our logic to justify our decisions, right? That seems crazy. You would think that we make logical decisions, but most of our decisions are based on our emotion, and then we use our logic to justify why we did it. And I feel
Right.
like that's where advertisement and AI and the algorithms are just constantly keeping us in this emotional state, which at the beginning of this episode, we talked about, you're surviving or thriving? And I feel like whenever we're just in that place of emotional response, it feels like we're just surviving. And so
Yeah.
there's got to be a way to like tune that off and move over to where like we're able to thrive by maybe giving ourselves that flattery. Is that where you would go with it, or what do you think, Teresa?
Yeah, I think so. I think giving yourself that flattery, and then also if you have a book out there, you do have fans. You have your friends and your family. So just ask them, hey, when you read this book, I'm having a bad moment. Can you just tell me something nice about my book? I really need to hear that right now. And because they're your friends and family, they'll do that for you. So if you need a little burst, just ask for it.
And I think it's really also important to double down on the fact of, like, these scams are very believable. And if you do email one of these people back, like, you've not clicked on anything, you've not given them your personal information, like, you don't have to panic at that point, right? And if real agents will not ask you for money. Real book clubs don't ask you for money. appearances to like be interviewed on a podcast or a YouTube channel or be featured in a newsletter or things like that, in general, they don't ask you for money, right? So once it gets to the point where they ask you for money, your red flag should really raise and you should be like, "Okay, why are they asking me for money here?" Right? Cuz we do get hopefully you do get fan mail and you want fan mail and you might want to respond to it. And it is really hard to tell and give yourself grace in knowing that it is difficult.
So I'll tell you guys what if we start something new on our Discord? Morgan, this was your idea.
Well, Teresa was talking and I just got so excited. And I'm like, I feel like asking our friends and family is good, and I love that advice. And then even as I was saying to give it to yourself, I'm like, I can say that all day long, but it's not enough. Like we already have to pick ourselves up every day to make ourselves show up at the typewriter, you know? And I think there's no better flattery than it comes from writing. And I remember I was in a writing group once where on one of the nights that we would get together, we would just read at each other's like really fast, and would just do short writes. And all we were allowed to say is things that we liked about the writing. That's it. And it was so good for our self-esteem. It was so good for our motivation. I do think we developed as writers just from the positive, because you would hear, oh, I like this, I like this, I like this. And then you'd know to accentuate or keep doing that. And so, and listening to what other people liked in each other's writing, I think brought out the positive. And it was like this really amazing community. So I thought, wouldn't it be fun on Discord if we started a page that was entitled like your fan club or your biggest fan club? I don't know what we're going to title it. But you could put a little excerpt of your writing, just like a little paragraph, and people can just say the things that they like. So it's a quick read. We read each other's, little comments all the time. And then we can just drop in, and when we're needing some love, just tell me what you like about this. Maybe even if we don't like it, maybe we could drop it in there and say, tell me what you like about it. And then we'd know the good part to keep when we edit. Because I feel like sometimes when I go to edit, it's negative, negative, negative. And then I lose the jewel that was there, right? Or I throw the baby out with the bathwater and I'm mixing metaphors. But oh well. What do you guys think?
I
I
love
love
it.
it.
I think
Yeah,
that's brilliant,
absolutely.
Morgan.
Oh, Teresa, I was like, what? Excited, because I just feel like that what AI is doing is it's preying on the fact that we don't have an authentic community. But here at Sages, we build an authentic community. And although we're not always able to check in as much as we want, the people who do check in and keep, are just the most amazing people. And they have such positive things to say, and they always lift each other up. And I just think knowing that there's a safe place to go and share is really important for everyone.
Yeah, I love it.
Teresa, what I love about this idea is at the very beginning of the episode, we talked about moving first from surviving to thriving. And I feel like so often thriving just means, I literally just got feedback on my chapter 11 where my biggest fan reader was like, oh, this chapter's not working for me. And I'm like, oh, I just want to quit on my whole book. Like I get so dramatic. Mm-hmm. And I love the idea of just being able to take the paragraph that's not working, put it in somewhere and get the positive out of it, so that when I go to re-edit, I have that like with fresh eyes. And without that, I wouldn't be able to thrive, especially with this chapter. So thank you so much. That's my takeaway for today. What's your takeaway, Molly?
My takeaway is that just be careful and give yourself grace. The world is a scary place and it's hard to tell sometimes what's real and what's not. And so just giving yourself the grace to go through life and not get down on yourself when things get difficult.
Yeah. And I think my takeaway is if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Sorry.
Except semi-sages, because we're the real deal. Now
look at us, we have faces. Would an AI do this? No. An AI would be prettier.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you don't have to worry about this.
No, I got my grades up here. They're all popping through. We are legit. We are not AI.
It is not too good to be true.
But,
except for how awesome we are. Mm-hmm.
And if you believe that, no, just kidding. All right. So what are you still doing here? Go right.
Go right.
Take care, everyone. Bye.